Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cologne podcast, a podcast where two friends, one of them named Mike,
and the other one named Ryan, and we go on an adventure, if you will, and we go and smell shit, not literal, but fragrances, and we give you uneducated opinions on it. That's what the fuck we do here.
Yeah, that's why you're here. You're here to listen to us give you an uneducated opinion about Byron Parfums, the Chronic Rouge Extreme.
You know, we smelled the original.
We did.
With your boy Steve.
Yes, he was on the podcast. He actually sent us the fragrance to smell. He sent us a 5 ml decant from his bottle, and we got to smell it and enjoy it with him. And so today we're going to also smell this one and enjoy it with him. But first, we've got to do our one night stand review. But even before we do our one night stand review, I need to tell you what our friend JL's Fancy on Fragrantica has to say about the Chronic Rouge Extreme.
Hit us with the truth, JL.
Boy, this is a twister of an episode already. JL's Fancy says, "My eyes!" They're somewhere rolling in the back of my head right now. I'm a gourmand lover, and this is a dream perfume.
Oh, fuck.
It smells fruity and creamy.
Okay.
It's sweet for sure. At first sniff, I get sweet bananas, then sweet berries, and cream. I get amber and spices, but the amber makes it smooth, and the spices are subtle to my nose. It's musky, fruity heaven, and I am definitely getting a full bottle.
My Krista Gala! Oh, God. That sounds fucking god-awful.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to this episode.
This is not what I expected, because when we smelled the original, just the Chronic by Byron Parfums, it wasn't gourmand. It was sweet, but it didn't feel like an actual...
No, it was a pretty baller-ass fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very mass-appealing to me, wearable kind of fragrance, you know?
After smelling Psychedelic Love from Initio, we had kind of said that the Chronic smells like a more masculine version of that.
Yeah, it was a good little scent for real. So but that description right there, like, I don't want to smell fucking bananas on shit, man.
Yeah.
Only time I eat bananas is banana pudding after I've made that motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, I do occasionally like to unpeel a giant, girthy banana.
I bet you do.
Wrap these lips around it. Speaking of that, let's wrap our lips around a nice, juicy Slut by Terence Hughes. Hit the music, Todd.
Yeah. One night stand review.
Well, Mike, after breaking the suction of your lips from that bottle of Slut,
yes.
What say you about Terence Hughes' Slut?
You know, the dry down was pretty glorious.
I have to agree. We both called each other afterwards. And he was like, "Hey, what do you think about that dry down?" I'm like, "Hey,
pretty slutty."
Pretty good. Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, it got to more of a tangy, kind of spicy, grapefruity, citrus type thing. It was really nice. It was close to the skin, but it was this like long-lasting sort of citrus thing that smelled really good.
It was pretty good. I can't lie. I don't really have anything to give you, but it was good.
Yeah, and I've been kind of smelling it again off and on because it's been a couple of days since that last episode. And, you know, I kind of like it. I think we were just taken back by the name Slut, and we had so many expectations.
Yeah, but I still think the opening to me is just kind of, it's so that I don't even know how to even really trash it. I'm just like,
Yeah, it's got kind of that dirty smelling neroli that maybe could be, you know, some form of provocative, but to me it just smelled like old school soap.
Yeah, it was all right. But the dry down though, and it was
juicy.
Much later, mind you.
Yeah,
but it was fucking good.
It really was.
It was slutty.
Yeah, it was real slutty. But so all in all, I'd have to say it's definitely a sample out there. Go try to get your hands on it and smell it. If you really like the intro to the fragrance, then you're in for a grand surprise as it starts to dry down. It's a good fragrance. It just should be named something different.
Yeah, maybe floozy.
Maybe flapper. Or something like that. I don't know. But either way, not Slut. That is too good of a name to just throw away on a...
I'm not going to lie, though. Yeah, let's give the motherfucker credit because sorry, guys. I just kind of realized I sound completely fresh out so far this episode.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself. I'm running on pretty much 1 hour of sleep. I'm getting closures in my life and trying to live it my best I can.
You got to.
But man, so I'm like really fresh out right now, but you know what? Fuck it. Anyway.
Yeah.
That name is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
It is kind of a waste. I have to agree, but that name is fucking good.
Yeah. I wish, Mr. Hughes, that you would have held on to that name for something with just a little bit more dirt on it.
A little skank.
A little skankiness to it. Okay, so that's our opinion of Slut by Aaron Terence Hughes after spending a couple of evenings with them.
Yeah, it was pretty legendary.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we were satisfied. But
yeah.
And with covering that, I tell you what, let's bring our friend Steve in and let's go ahead and smell our scent of the day, the Chronic Rouge Extreme by Byron Parfums.
Hello, Steve. Welcome back to the podcast. It's good to have you here again.
Yes.
And
hello. It's been a while.
It has been. And real quick, before we jump into the rest of this episode, because you kind of let us know that you've already smelled Slut before, what's your one night stand opinion on that?
Well, I've got two opinions. I've got mine and my wife's, and this was a while ago, actually, to be fair. So my wife just straight up didn't like it. She didn't give it a chance. She smelt it. Actually, I sprayed it on her wrist. She didn't like it at all. Literally washed it off straight away. She was not even giving it a chance.
That sounds like Mike.
Yeah.
Thought the opening was okay. I thought the dry down was much nicer than the opening.
That was my opinion.
The dry down. Yeah.
Yeah, we
like,
both.
The opening, I was like, eh. But dry down, I was like, okay, this has definitely got better.
Yeah, the opening does not fit the name to us, is what we were kind of saying.
It doesn't feel slutty, yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't think the dry down does either. I actually think it's quite a perfectly sophisticated fragrance that you could wear in the office. I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that slutty. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a horny Saturday night sort of a fragrance.
Me and him were both thinking more along the lines of like Roger Parfums kind of Scandal, have a little skank on it or something in the opening, but nothing.
Yeah, I at least wanted some fishnet pantyhose on this thing.
Yeah, no, I was, in that regard, I was a bit disappointed. It didn't smell like sex, that dirtiness in the air. Not that I get to smell that very often, but it didn't, it's been a while. I don't know what that smells like anymore. But, it didn't smell like that to me. It smelled like the opening was, it's just not what I was expecting. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling the opening. It's all right. But then as it dried down, I often find that with Aaron's fragrances, though. I often find the opening, I find nearly all of his fragrances smell better in the dry down. They sort of just seem to, there's often, this is a gross generalization and people are going to rip me for it, but quite often I find that when I smell the opening, I can smell the different kind of components, as it were. Not to his level. I couldn't sort of name like chemicals, but I could smell the different accords, and sometimes they don't always work together, but then as it dries down they seem to then kind of blend together on the dry down and just balance out and to smell much nicer on the dry down
for sure.
General.
Yeah, this is, I guess, really our second, because we smelled Smolder, which was nice. It was just a nice fragrance. And then this one, I feel like was the name versus the smell was definitely more polarizing. Yeah. And the opening compared to the dry down, I completely agree. Not as sexy on the opening as the dry down. But to be fair, you did tell us you've got a birthday coming up, so you may just be smelling a little bit of sexy time here pretty soon.
That once a year, but
yeah. I tell you what, you've got your sample. If you want to shout out who hooked you up with that, we've got ours. We'll spray it up and start talking about it.
Yeah, I got my sample and I just put a shout out in one of the Facebook groups. So it's Trusted Scent Sellers, or I think I should know the name of it by now, but the Trusted Fragrance Group. Shout out to those guys. And Dave McCaffrey, he's an absolute legend. I offered him some money for this and he said, no, it's Christmas and all that. I'm going to send it to you for free. And he saved me loads of money. So I'm about to spray this now. Ooh, okay. I
don't get the banana vibe that JL was talking about. Thank God. I don't get that.
Yeah, but I also don't get a lot of the Chronic either.
That's
What does it smell like?
It's definitely a fruitier version of the Chronic. Like, it's definitely got more fruitiness to it.
For sure, yeah.
I think this is more feminine than the Chronic.
I was 100% going to say this is feminine, and I think it would smell pretty good on a woman, honestly.
It kind of smells like a Bath & Body Works type candle vibe. Like a fruity strawberries and cream sort of a thing.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. It reminds me a little bit of some sort of like a strawberry sweet type thing, like a candy that you like.
Yes.
The Werther strawberry and cream little candies on the card strip, that's exactly what it smells like.
Yeah, it's kind of got that, like, we're like a powdery, like a dip and stick sort of strawberry.
Actually, that a lot, honestly.
It's an interesting one because it makes me think, like, I'm jumping ahead and stealing your thunder here, but like thinking about the sort of person that would wear this.
Yeah,
like I was just thinking, like, age-wise, because I'm imagining a woman. I think this is more feminine
for sure.
But it smells sort of. It's weird because it smells quite young.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah, I agree.
Surprisingly so. I thought it was going to be more sophisticated, but that said, I reckon if there was like a really classy, sophisticated woman in a business suit in the office, she could probably rock it, and it would probably smell good, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think just any beautiful woman wearing it would smell good. But like you were saying, if I were to profile who is wearing this, I would definitely say it's a younger female for sure.
It smells young, but I need to emphasize that it doesn't smell like cheap or juvenile. Quite often, like young, girly fragrances smell like sickly sweet or like cheap. Do you know what I mean? This doesn't. Yeah. It's really smooth, really well blended, but it does.
It's not like a $15 body spray, you know?
Oh, good Lord,
smell.
No.
I may shock people here, but I'm actually really fucking loving this, and I did not expect to like it this much.
I think it smells amazing.
Yeah,
but would you wear it though? Would you wear it?
No.
I may wear this motherfucker. It's pretty good.
Really? Well, on the skin, it does have some of that, not mint, but that thing we were talking about with the Chronic that it had. On the skin, it's kind of got like something that's balancing it out, that's kind of cutting through.
I will have to say, I smell that on a fucking woman, dude. That's pretty good.
Pretty slutty?
Yeah. Honestly, Slut should have smelled like some shit like this.
I don't think so. This is too sweet.
No, this is pretty and beautiful. I'm telling you, this is great.
I'm getting more florals coming through now. Like the fruitiness has died down a little bit, and it's a little bit more floral to me. But I think this smells really good. I would love to smell this in a woman, but I don't think I could wear this.
I'm going to say this real quick. I am more shocked about this than I am the original Chronic. Like, this is pretty mind-blowing to me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm that blown away by this shit.
It does make sense that you would like it because it is an attempt at like an edible, a gourmand type fragrance that isn't just like overwhelming.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming at all. This is impressive. I'm blown away.
Yeah, but we know what your MO is like, Ryan. Like in 10 minutes, you're going to be like, nah, this smells like shit. That's how you work. You just do a complete 180 within the space of a podcast.
This is why Steve is an honorary Cologne podcast member. He just knows the way shit works here.
It's gone to you. Has it gone a little bit more powdery now? Almost like a little bit, almost like there's an iris or something in there.
Like in the air, yes.
It's like a clean powderiness to it now, which makes me think, again, it's just like a businesswoman in the office now. I think it's a little bit less fruity.
For sure, yeah.
More.
I get more of the Chronic type vibes when I'm smelling my skin, and it doesn't smell as feminine to me as it does in the air. In the air, it smells great, but it does smell red fruits, the strawberry raspberry vibe. But on the skin, it does have that sort of, I don't know, what we're saying, like the fir type tree, like the evergreen type smell.
Yeah.
You know?
So I've just done a fresh spray on my other wrist now to kind of compare the opening and this sort of dry down. I can get like a banana-y vibe. I can kind of get what they're talking about on that for Grand Together. When I just do a fresh spray and then sort of go in quite early and get that, there's like a banana-y type vibe, I think. I can see what they're talking about.
Very, very faint for me if I'm smelling anything at all. And I just think you're just fucking with my mind and making me think that.
Out of all the fruity type fragrances that we've smelled, like legit meant to be a perfume fragrance, this has got to be one of the best ones. The most, at least the most high quality vibe to it.
I mean, no bullshitting. I'm for real. Like this may be one of the few fragrances that have like blown my fucking doors wide open, man. This shit is nuts to me. I've never smelled anything like it. This is incredible.
Wow. I've never seen a reaction from you like that, I don't think.
I am serious right now.
Yeah.
Guys. This shit is nuts
I'm
to me.
staring right at him, and he's not being facetious in any way.
It is so badass.
I think it smells incredible. I love it. I do. I'm looking forward to my wife wearing this, but
Wow.
I just don't think I would wear it. Would you wear it? Yeah, Ryan. Do you think you would or not?
I'm serious. Like, equally, like, as much as if I smelled this on a woman, it would be maddening walking by them because it smells so good. There's part of me that's like, I would enjoy smelling this fucking good. This smells so good to me.
I would never wear it. I could never
and
wear
I'm
this.
shocked because you are the fucking guy who loves wearing the sweetest shit.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've had like a come to Jesus with it.
Yeah. On the skin, it is nice.
I have been meaning to message you actually, Mike, about like where the hair's gone. I just had to. Like, I was gonna. For when I first saw it, I thought, "Are you a victim of something? Like, is there something?"
Well,
he thinks he's bald, but he's not. But he's committing to being bald. It's the weirdest thing.
Look. I had the sneaking suspicion that my hairline was slowly creeping to the back of my head. And I told Forbes a few years ago when he started cutting my hair, I said, Forbes, you're going to have to let me know you've got a better vantage point than I do when the time is going to be to just commit to shaving the head. Because I don't want to get to where I'm like trying to hide shit.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, I'm guessing, I can't even remember. It was still warm out here.
Yeah.
Forbes was like, man, you know what? You may want to try.
That's harsh. That's a tough conversation.
Yeah. I was actually telling a female friend of mine, I said, they say when men go bald, it's like the equivalent to like our postpartum depression. It's like a complete change in identity for us,
Wow.
And I took it in strides because I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I could kind of tell something. I was having to kind of comb it a certain way. And, I got to a point where I could feel it was coming and I just needed the affirmation from the barber, to say, hey, it's time to go that route. There's no more hiding this.
And the irony of it all is that I'm growing my fucking hair out so long. I'm like literally going to Forbes tomorrow to get like a custom shaggy mullet thing going on. Trying to look like Morgan Whalen over here.
Good Lord.
That's an awkward conversation. That's like the vet telling you they've got to put down your cat or something.
Yeah, it's even worse than that. Look, kill all the cats. I hate cats. But don't take my hair from me.
I mean, to be fair, you just, it was a bit of a shock, I think. I think you look a bit like if Jason Statham went to the library instead of the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah, my forehead's bigger than my forearms.
Hey, man, let me get some popcorn if you're going to go all Def Comedy Jam on in here for a minute. I like this.
Hey, it's the
anyway,
truth,
back
though.
to the fragrance.
I've been trying to hit the gym. Well, I actually have not been trying.
You haven't tried shit in like a month.
I've been trying to hit the chocolates as well.
You've been trying to think about hitting the gym.
Yeah. It starts in the mind first, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm like Jason Statham's loser brother,
This, I mean, as you would say, right, this shit smells good.
It does.
I think this smells really
It's so good, and it's seriously, it's getting way less feminine on the hand. Dude, this shit's sick.
Do you get that sort of, not mint, but you know where it's going? When you smell your skin, Steve, do you get that sort of vibe?
Yeah.
A little bit. Only subtly. I'm getting more of a sort of, now it's died down a little bit and it's dried down. The fruitiness is a bit more subtle. It's subtly there. And then it's just a little bit more sort of like slightly more floral, powdery kind of thing going on, but in a really clean, nice way. But with a nice sort of subtle sweetness. I just think it smells amazing, but I just don't, annoyingly, I don't think I could wear it.
Yeah. Which is a shame because the reason we did this episode was you loved the Chronic so much. We did the Chronic with you and we knew that like, oh, this one's going to be a more intense, when anything, the name of the thing plus extreme, you think it's going to be some next level. But I feel like I can kind of smell the Chronic in it, but it feels like a completely different angle.
It's definitely nowhere near as masculine as the Chronic. I mean, the Chronic, they're both unisex fragrances officially, but I think the Chronic is more masculine than this. It's almost like I could wear the Chronic and my missus could wear this.
Right.
And I'd be happy. It'd be smelling good. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what is the price on this, by the way?
It was $275 for a 75 mil.
Yeah, the prices have gone up, which I understand, which is a shame though, but I get it because they're so good. They're like super smooth, all really well blended, their fragrances. I'm a big fan. So
yeah, you've gotten a couple of bottles of the Chronic now, right?
Yeah, I'm on to my second bottle, yeah.
And is that about the similar price that you would pay for the Chronic?
It is now, yeah. I mean, when I originally bought the Chronic, when it sort of first came out, because I've got one of the early labels, it was a lot cheaper. I think they were about £110, 120. I don't know what that is in dollars. But now they've jumped up quite a lot, and I think they changed the sizes. So yeah.
Gotcha. It's the way of the world, man. Everything's gone up in price. So
are they the only two Byron fragrances you've smelled?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. I have smelled in a room of a million fragrances, Mula Mula, and I was very tempted to buy it at one point just from the little bit that I got to smell it, but I haven't got to smell it like we do here where we're not smelling 100 other things at the same time. Yeah. But I remember it being really good.
Mula Mula is really good. Again, it's a little bit divisive on the whole unisex thing. So some people are kind of like it's perfectly unisex. Some people think it's very much a female fragrance. Some people kind of, one of the guys I know from the fragrance groups and that, he actually bought my bottle from me and he was just like, he sold it on because he just said it's just too feminine for me.
Yeah, I need to smell it by itself and then maybe I could get a better read on it. But at the time I was like, this seems like something I might wear.
Let's wrap back around real quick and just cover it real fast. You kind of alluded to this in the beginning. You think you think this is a female fragrance, more leaning.
Yeah, before we do that, first of all, the trend on it on Fragrantica, just to, go in order of what we typically do, price trend here. The trend is pretty good.
Yeah, it's decent.
It's not like redlining, but it seems to be pretty popular out of the fragrances. But go ahead now. You're saying.
Yeah, so y'all think that this is more feminine than it is man?
9 out of 10, yes, I would say.
Yeah.
I do agree with it, but I just feel like this is like one of those rare fragrances that a man could seriously put on, even if it was purposely meant for a woman. I think this is unisex, but I still love this. I am blown away by this fragrance.
I'm blown away that you're blown away.
It's just,
I'm surprised how much you love it. I'm surprised. But it does smell really good. I think now it's dried down even more so. I think it's starting to smell a little bit more like the Chronic. Like the sandalwood and stuff's coming out a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's where it's starting to like a sweet sort of sandalwood kind of vibe, but still more feminine.
Yeah.
It's more comparable now to me on my skin. Now it's dried down even more.
Yeah. For the 12 ladies that are out there listening to the podcast, this would be a fantastic fragrance if you can get your hands on, whatever, 15, 20 mil or something like that. Unless you're just loaded. In that case, drop the 275, get the 75 mil. But for a female fragrance or someone who likes to wear feminine leaning fragrances, this is an incredible fragrance. It's a fantastic fragrance, but I'm with you, Steve, that I don't know that I could really wear it.
Look, I'm going to say this.
Makes me sad.
For any of the ladies, for sure, this is my skip it.
Sample it.
What's the other one?
Buy it.
Buy it. Yeah, that'd be the option.
That was Steve, guys. Everyman Fragrances. He listens to every single episode of ours. As you can tell, that's why we brought him on here. You caught me off guard.
I was like looking at my little sample going, how much I got in there? I was thinking, I can get the wife to wear this. And then you're like, there's this big pause like, they want me to say something.
Well, Steve, is it a bias, skip it, sample it for you? What do you think there, buddy?
I mean, if I was rich, I would totally buy this and probably wear it on the odd occasion, but maybe buy it for the other half and then maybe wear it on the odd occasion sort of thing. But I'm not rich, so I would say sample it. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth at least a sample. It smells really good, really good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If you wear feminine leaning fragrances or you are a lady and you want to smell beautiful, this is one of the better female fragrances that I've smelled. I know it's unisex.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me, hey, I'm looking to buy something for my wife, I just want to get her a really high quality, beautiful smelling fragrance, I would go, man, you should really check this out.
Well, I was about to say this to you. Do you think this would be a sort of good gift or good blind buy to buy a woman? Like, it's Christmas obviously coming up.
Yes.
If you know someone that say your sister, mum, girlfriend, wife, whatever, are into fragrances, they've not really smelled any Byron fragrances. If you want to drop some dollar on it, right. I would say this is a good safe blind buy for someone that's into fragrances, particularly a woman personally. But
yes, I would say so. I mean, it just smells that good.
Yeah, 100%. And just to get my little verdict out of the way, to any woman listening out there, and I know there's at least one of you, I'm telling you to your face, this shit is so intensely badass. Don't even get a sample. Go buy this shit. Walk by your man. He's going to fucking love this shit. This shit's incredible. It's one of the best female fragrances I've ever smelled in my fucking life, and it's not even close.
There's not a single negative review on Fragrantica for it.
Really?
Really.
So see, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Wow.
This is so fucking smooth, well done. It's very pretty, but not overpowering, but it's fucking loud at the same time. This is incredible. This is the best female leaning fragrance I've ever smelled, and it's not even close. There you go.
Wow.
Strong words.
Tremendous
Strong
vote of
words.
confidence from Ryan. You know what? I feel like you're, somebody who like dies for 15 minutes and comes back and then they're like, oh my God, the flowers smell so much better and the trees are so beautiful. I feel like that's where you're at in life right now.
I definitely am in that in life, but I am for real. This shit is so good, and maybe it is because I'm trying to turn over a new leaf in life, but man, this shit smells so goddamn good. And I could not recommend it any harder than I am right now.
I think it'd be interesting if you revisited the Chronic now as well. Like perhaps for the one night stand when you can't like come back after, you should also like do aware of the Chronic and then maybe do a little comparison and see if you have a better appreciation of the Chronic as a more masculine version of this or not. I think that might be an interesting take because I know you like the Chronic and you were surprised because you don't normally like sweet fragrances, but it'd be interesting if you actually smell in this and then you go to the Chronic and you go, actually, it is like a more masculine version of this. I'm really digging the Chronic now. Like, or
I just might.
Take.
I just might. I don't know if do we have any even left?
Yeah, I think we do.
Well, then we may have to do
just
that.
a tiny bit. There's been a couple times I've wore that thing pretty good, but it's so strong. You only really need a couple little sprays.
Yeah, it performs so well, the Chronic. It lasts all day. Interestingly, I don't think this one smells as strong. I don't know if it's just because it's a more subtle fragrance, but I've literally put a spray on my hand, so it's hard to tell. But it doesn't seem as, I guess it's not got the same intense depth as the Chronic, even though it's called a Rouge Extreme. But
yeah, maybe it's because it's extremely like red berries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've just looked up the notes. I don't know if anybody's interested. I know you guys don't normally do that shit.
Throw them out there.
Yeah. So, so I'll shout them out, see if you can kind of get these. So at the top, this is according to Fragrantica, so it might be lies. There's raspberry, whipped cream, melon, and pear. So very fruity at the top. There's obviously no banana listed, but there's quite a lot of sort of. We kind of got I think one of you guys said like a strawberry cream or something. Like cream soda or something.
I get the raspberry, strawberry kind of whipped cream kind of vibe, but it's done so good and smooth. I don't want to say it's realistic in a sense, but it's like done so fucking. It's probably one of the best. If this is considered a gourmand, this is probably the best thing I've ever smelled as far as a gourmand goes.
Wow,
oh, man, you are loving this. Middle notes. It says spicy notes, amber, and cinnamon. I mean, I know there's cinnamon in the Chronic as well. And then in the base, there's white musk, sandalwood, and patchouli.
I can smell the white musk for sure.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Steve. Next time you go into Byron's shop, you're going to see a 6'2" cardboard cutout of me holding a fucking bottle of this shit because I'm endorsing the fuck out of it.
Yeah, you are.
So, genuinely, do you think you might save up, or do you think you might try and get a bottle or get a decant or what then?
I will buy this thing. I've got to own this.
I believe
ridiculous.
this. I believe him. Wow. I believe him when he says it.
This is so crazy to me how good this smells. And it just reminds me of like just something pure and amazing. I want this. It's badass.
Wow.
Yes, so if you holler at Byron, let him know.
Yeah. Tell old Byron we said what's up. Ryan's interested in that Rouge Extreme. It is really good.
What I will say is, though I said I don't know if I could wear this, if I was wearing this, I've got no problems wearing it. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't feel conscious because I don't think it's really super, super feminine. I
agree.
I wouldn't feel girly. I wouldn't feel conscious that, oh God, I feel like I'm wearing a women's fragrance. This is a bit. It's just that I don't think would bring out my most confident side if I was wearing like a one that I felt particularly more, I don't know, manly or attractive in. But I could wear it. I certainly could wear it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be conscious of it, but I just don't know if I would choose to because I think it's feminine leaning.
Right. I may wear it around the house if I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. Spray it on just so I can be like smelling it throughout the day. But
put some lipstick on or something.
Yeah, for sure. Put on my pantyhose. Typical Saturday for me.
I tell you, another thing I would say is it doesn't smell synthetic in the slightest. There's not any synthetics. Like, it smells so smooth and natural.
I'm literally getting the first time vibes ever of smelling something like Aventus to my virgin nostrils in the day, right?
For sure.
To where I was blown away by it.
I think that's why we keep saying it doesn't smell cheap, because we're used to more fruity type fragrances smelling extremely synthetic.
Yeah, I agree.
That comes back to what I said earlier about sometimes you get those fruity, sweet fragrances smell like girly, like juvenile, a bit cheap, girly, teenager girl. Well, this is not at all. This is really smooth, really natural. And now it's dried down, I can totally see a more older lady wearing it, like in the office. Yeah,
it is more younger smelling, like just right off the opening top notes, but it is drying down to something that is more wearable by someone more mature, but also just, it is slightly more masculine on the dry down as well. And I also kind of smell on the tester strip. It does kind of smell to me a little bit more banana smelling. I am kind of getting that on the card.
I'm not getting that. Thank God I'm not.
I love banana.
I only get banana in the opening, right at the top. I mean, I'm looking forward to my wife wearing this and Amy smelling it. And also, she's finished work now for sort of the Christmas period. But I would have been really curious to see if she picked up any compliments on this. Because I think she would, to be fair.
It's good. Well, there you go.
Okay, that's today's episode. We're going to wrap this bitch up. But thank you again, Steve, for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate it. You made this, honestly, a lot of fun. So
we've got to have you on more.
I think so, too. It was actually kind of cool having you.
We got to, now that we kind of knocked the rust off a little bit, it's time to get you back in the groove, my man.
Yeah, it took me a while I had to blow the dust off the microphone. But there we go. So
yeah,
two surprises Brian's had today. He's surprised how good this fragrance is, and he's surprised how not shit I've been on the podcast. So that's really good. Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You actually, surprisingly enough, we're decent.
Mike gives me shit all the time because I give backhanded compliments. I don't think I do, but apparently I do all the time.
It's always like, it'll start off nice. You'll be like, hey, man, I like the way you dressed today.
But no, for real, Steve, you killed it today, man. You brought a lot of laughs. Hey, dunking on Mike, man, bring that shit all the time.
Yeah, please. You're going to find me in a closet with my feet dangling, Ryan. All right, well, that was a fun episode. Steve, thanks for joining us. And, of course, until next time, spray it up, y'all.
Yo.